Auditors, today we're looking at a pattern that lived in the public domain long before Epstein's arrest. Nothing leaked, nothing hidden, just a trail of receipts ignored for decades.
Redhead receipts, snark and spice in every view. Red spilling truth and the absurd for you. Hey, auditors, let's do what we do. Let's audit.
When Trump told Marjorie Taylor Greene that the Epstein files would hurt a lot of people, he wasn't offering a warning. He was talking about himself and acknowledging his vulnerability. Because Epstein is already dead. He can't do anything to anyone. What remains are records, overlaps, and behavior that has lived in the public domain also for years, including Trump's own deviant behaviors. Some receipts were already visible. Others clearly went further. And for the men who shared the same social spaces, pipelines, and patterns, as I said, the risk isn't Epstein anymore. It is their past catching up with them. And I gotta tell you, there's a lot of victims driving the karma bus coming straight for them. Before Epstein was ever arrested, before his name became shorthand for elite abuse, Trump was already running a modeling agency that had drawn serious scrutiny. A sitting U.S. senator called for a probe into Trump model management. CNN reported that Trump's own executives would not deny allegations that the agency used undocumented workers. And attorneys publicly stated the agency broke immigration laws. These weren't fringe blogs. These were mainstream national outlets reporting in real time. This wasn't rumor. It wasn't hidden. It was public reporting sitting in the open years before Epstein ever became the focus. There's another pattern here that rarely gets talked about. Retaliation. Trump is an eye for an eye kind of guy. Trump's modeling agency was shut down over immigration and labor violations. ICE was the agency involved. That matters because Trump has a long history of going after whoever he believes crossed him, embarrassed him, or stripped him of access and power. Now look at this presidency. ICE raids intensified, immigration enforcement expanded, entire labor pipelines were cut off, not just to enforce the law, but to control who gets access to that workforce. When Trump lost his modeling operation, he didn't walk away. He made sure no one else would benefit from the same system that was taken from him. The reporting didn't stop at visas and paperwork. Models described what daily life actually looked like. Many were housed together in cramped apartments, condos, or houses. Too many people, too little of space. Rent and fees were deducted directly from their pay, leaving them with little to no financial independence. For some, immigration status became leverage. This was not opportunity. It was a dependency. And once you understand that structure, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. It's the same MO as trafficking. Auditors, in 1992, Trump was publicly documented as hosting private dinners that brought teen, did you hear that? Teen models and powerful adult men together under the umbrella of elite modeling events. These weren't rumors. They were reported at the time, describing a social environment where young girls were placed into adult spaces, normalized as part of this scene. This was about access, who was invited, who benefited, and who had the least power in the room, which was obviously the teens. In 2008, auditors TMZ reported that Trump used, ready for this? Back up, a 17-year-old girl. Yeah, 17. To promote his vodka brand. What kind of promotion is that? That girl can't even drink. And it gets worse. Didn't think it could, but it does. This is a private, quote-unquote, private promotional party. Yep. And, keep digging. She was body painted. Yeah, you heard me right. No clothes, body painted. I mean, what are we doing here? Where was her mama? Where was her daddy? Why didn't anyone stop this? If she was my child, I'd be like, oh, hell no. But it is what it is. It's unacceptable. Trump created this setting, but TMZ really didn't have to amplify it like they did by publishing images, that were distasteful and irresponsible because it's a minor. I blurred what I could because even looking at these images kind of crosses my moral compass. It's too much. This is wrong, and both deserve to be called out for it. One for exploitation and one for the exposure. Sorry, TMZ. That was bad of you. By now, none of this is about Epstein yet. What matters is that Trump's pattern was already visible. The modeling pipeline, the proximity to very young women, the normalization of placing teens into adult spaces, and the power imbalance baked into all of it. Epstein didn't invent that environment. He moved inside one that already existed. Same social circles, same geographic spaces, same era. And when you understand that, what happens next stops feeling like coincidence and starts looking like convergence. And this is where the story finally splits. Epstein became a liability. Once his behavior threatened people with far more power than he had, the protection disappeared. Trump didn't lose protection. He kept his through politics, branding, and narrative control. Same circles, same access, same era. But only one man was sacrificed to preserve the system. This is why the reaction matters now. When Trump says the Epstein files would hurt a lot of people, he isn't warning the public. He is signaling risk. Epstein is gone. What's left is the records, overlaps, photos, settlements, testimony, and patterns that were never meant to be re-examined together. And when the systems like this feel exposed, they don't come clean, they scramble. And this is where the public still doesn't get the full picture. Names remain sealed, files are withheld, releases happen slowly, under the banner of protecting victims. But while the paperwork stays locked, the history never disappeared. Archive footage from 1992 shows Trump and Epstein together at a party. Not hidden, not secret, but fully normalized at the time. The story was never missing. It was managed. The question was never whether Epstein and Trump existed in the same world. They did. The real question is why? Only one of them paid the price for it. Epstein went down, the system that enabled him didn't. And until the full picture is allowed into the public record, accountability will always be selective. That's not justice. That's protection.